Hi.
Yay.
Lauren Barger, thank you so much for agreeing on this interview, but mostly for agreeing to be part of my 12 sculpture challenge,
Mhm.
which I've heard is a thing now in the visual development world. So you're a visual development artist, and you're also a creator of fun art, as you call it, art, if I may.
Art. Yes. I like
So
making art.
yeah, that's great. Me too. You're also known for your Coffeedraws and your Pet to People series, which I really adore.
Mhm.
And also you're one of the hosts of December, which is a drawing contest. It's happening in December for people who love Disney. And also you're one of the hosts of MerMay, which is happening now in the month of May. And well, that's a lot. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm a big proponent of taking on more than I can. I mean, I always can. I definitely can take on a lot, is what I'm saying. I take on too much sometimes, my family would say.
you do a lot of very different things. Well, they are related to drawing somehow. But is there one of the thing that you do that you like the most? Like if you have to pick one thing that you'll do all day,
I mean,
you
I
enjoy.
love drawing characters, and honestly, my it's not my most well-received, like, series on the internet. I would say probably say Pets to People or Coffee Draws is been the most popular and most well-received projects that I've worked on, but, my Floopies book is here I have
I love
this
those.
Floopies coloring book,
Yeah.
kind of like puzzle piecing these, characters into a square, so I was just practicing and doing that, and I could do that forever and ever and ever. I could make a book, that's 200 pages or plus of floopies. So I love floopies and I love pattern design. I've worked with Roosevelt's making the forever patterns and different patterns because I like the puzzle piece component. And I think that probably shape and pose and mood is probably one of the three components of character design or illustration that I focus the most on. So
Mhm.
floopies is kind of an embodiment of that.
Yeah.
So I love that the most
Yeah.
right now.
Well, we can see that when every time you do a new Flippy page, it's
Thank
amazing. I love it.
you so much.
What inspires you, like when you do a Floopy, for example, how do you say, okay, today I'm gonna do bears or I'm gonna do dogs? Is it something that you see or is it just like you feeling like you're doing it?
I always have a business mindset, like an entrepreneur. I feel like all artists and freelance artists especially need to have a sort of entrepreneur business mindset at all times. Like what demographic am I serving?
Mm,
Uh, and like for example, when I did a second book of Floopies, but it was mermaids, and I called it Mermaids. That book originally, all of the mermaids were topless. And then halfway through, I realized that the demographic in my mind were children or anyone of all ages. And as much as we all want to, be
yeah.
body positive, it really just doesn't fit in that commercial space to have topless women in a book. So I had to change my designs to sort of fit that.
Even more in the US, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, in the US, exactly. So I'm trying to think of people in my like, who would buy this, and then the reason I
Mm.
changed is because my sister has 2 little boys, and she's like, "I don't know if I'm gonna buy the Mermaids book, but I'll buy the Floopy's book," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess maybe I should just change it to fit all." So, like, I do have inspiration from the demographic that I'm, like, trying to serve, but also in the same I get a lot of inspiration from my social media, drawing my followers, asking
Mhm.
my follower like, polling, subject matter in the comment section, like, "What's next?" "What do you wanna see?" And that usually helps, give me an assignment,
Mhm.
uh, which I think is important when you're working to either give yourself an assignment or find an assignment like MerMay or December, which are drawing challenges that sort of like hone you in an area. Because if you don't have any inspiration, you just look at a white piece of paper, you can get really intimidated, and too many ideas kind of flood your brain, and having sort of a narrow uh, assignment or directive can really
Yeah.
help you make something, right? Help you make something good.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Um, so now we're doing this project together. So I'm sculpting one of your designs, and I was wondering if you have already done that before. Have you ever had a sculpt even in 3D or model from your designs, or not yet? Yes.
I have. Yeah, I've had a couple of friends who are modelers, sculptors, and then a couple of commercial projects I've worked on where
Mhm.
characters might have been sculpted. But specifically, I can get it. Hold on.
Aha.
I just happen to have one.
Ooh.
But this is a 3D sculpted giraffe character
Oh,
into
wow.
a bookend that my friend Paul Leal did this. It's amazing. It's actually this. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes,
That
from the movie.
giraffe right like
Oh,
this.
really cool.
Yeah, and the whole concept behind it was a bookend. And it was his idea. He's like, "Wouldn't that be cool as a bookend?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And he's like, "I'm gonna do it." So he did.
That's so
Yeah.
fun. Yeah,
Mhm. It's really fun. I love partnering up with friends and other artists in this space. It's super fun.
yeah, me too.
Mhm.
About MerMay, can you tell us how you became a host for MerMay?
Ah. Yes, so I was the last host to come on board. So Tom Bancroft is a man of many talents, but well known for creating Mushu and animating in Disney during the Renaissance era, and made all of our favorites. Although he didn't get to work on Little Mermaid, which he's always wanted to do,
Yeah.
he just wasn't there at that time. And then I guess later on, it was here. It was 2000, and what is it now? 2016. Yes, because this is the 10-year anniversary. It's
Mm.
2016 that he created a mermaid art piece that was inspired by his daughters that
Mhm.
went viral. And everyone in the comments, he says that somebody mentioned that he should make it a challenge and do every single day and call it MerMay. And so he
Mm.
decided to do that, and that's when it started. And then he was doing it solo for a really long time. And then he got very busy because, again, man of many talents. He's a
Mm.
director, making movies. He's doing a lot of things. And so he pulled in Whitney Paulette, who was
Mhm.
one of the original MerMay participants back in
Mhm.
2016.
Yeah.
And she kind of stepped in and um, helped Tom run the MerMay challenge, and also sponsors and prizes and events. And then I came on also because, again, Tom was getting a little bit busy. We needed a little bit extra help. So I came on in 2023.
Mhm.
Um, I came on then, and then we've just been hosting ever since. And we love to host drawing challenges because we love to see artist artwork and how people interpret it. And so we ended up starting another one in December called
Yeah.
December, again, just because we love it. We don't always, especially Whitney and I, we don't always hit every single day in the
Mhm.
challenge, just because of our busy lives. Um, but we do love to see other people committing to that and seeing
Mhm.
them grow and watching how they interpret everything. It's so, so fun just to be a spectator. So we're happy to organize it in whatever we can. So yeah, that's how I became part of Mermaid.
Yeah, thank you for doing it. We love participating, and there are, I think, a very few amount of people who do it every day because it's so much work.
It is very hard. It is very hard, and I have a family, and I also have a job, and like
Mm.
full-time job, and like a lot of people have full-time jobs. Sometimes um, the participants are students, and
Mhm.
they're in school, and so they also have all of their, school assignments and exams and things like that. So it's a little bit hard for everyone to do it, but it's so impressive if you can do it.
Definitely.
Did your
About
brother do all days of December?
no,
Did
No,
you?
I don't think he ever did all days, but he likes to take 1 day off every week of December to focus on one thing. And so he does like 4 or 5. Yeah. He
Did you
loves
do
it.
all of it? I don't think
I
you did all of it.
No,
Have
I
you?
never did all of it. No, no, no. Because I like to spend so much time on this and I can't.
Sculpting and doing what you do takes so much more time, I feel like, than a 2D. So
No,
it
well,
doesn't?
it depends. I mean, well, if you do just a sketch, yeah, it's faster. But if you color and shadow and a lot of details, it's a lot of work too. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the same amount of time, I guess, but it's yeah, everything takes time, and that's why we love it.
Mhm.
So about you said about having a family that takes a lot of time. I know you or your mom, right? Your mom. I'm too.
Oh,
And
how many children do you have?
two,
Oh, that's so sweet.
you have a daughter, right?
Yeah, I have one daughter.
How old is she?
She's 7.
Okay.
Yeah, how about you?
My daughter is turning 7 at the end of the month, and my son is almost 5. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's a good
So
age.
yeah. So I was wondering, how do you cope with like having kids and working and being creative and staying focused and yeah, all of that.
It
It's
it's
a
very
subject.
hard. Um, it is very hard. I would say at the beginning of my career in art as a professional, it was especially hard. Um, this is kind of a grueling industry. You know,
Mm,
it doesn't always pay well. You don't always get that work. You have to really prove yourself before you can start getting these professional commercial jobs. And I really, lots of sleepless nights and lots of
mm,
practice, lots of studying. Um, while also being a mom full time, my husband supports me, so that's a huge factor.
mhm,
Um, that my husband has a very stable career, and I feel like
mhm,
that's the best case scenario is if one partner has like a stable career with benefits and insurance, and then the other one can kind of have this entrepreneurial spirit.
yeah,
I feel like those really balance well together.
yeah.
And his support has been a major factor in how I can do this. But then also we moved, when I got pregnant, we moved from where we were, which was very isolated from family, next door to our family. So we
Mm,
have family behind it. They live in the house behind us. And then we have grandparents that live um, like, I don't know, less than a quarter of a mile down the street. And then
mm,
another family member up the street, less than 5 miles. So like we're all next to each other. We walk the kids to school, and
mm,
we're very close, and we support all of each other, and I have a
mm,
little community here, and I would not be able to do what I do without the support of my family. So
yeah.
I would say 100% it's the family support.
Thank you, family.
Yeah.
That's nice. Um, okay, one more question. Is there something that you've learned during your career so far that you want to share, like a piece of advice or something that like you think could be useful to others?
Hmm. I would say, and I was just talking to a friend of mine about this the other day, I think that one of the hardest parts of this job, in my opinion, is saying no, whether that is saying no to a potential client or saying no to yourself. Like, you can't
Mm.
do this. You need to focus on what you're doing. You can't do this side project.
Yeah, that's
Um,
good.
that is so culling down the commitments that
Hmm.
you make has really been the most challenging part of my career. Um, but if there's any way that I mean, for me, especially learning how to do that, I have a meticulous, or at least when I started this career, I wrote down meticulously how many hours, minutes, that I was doing a task. I had a
Mhm.
spreadsheet, and I would come back to it and look at, like, realistically how
Mhm.
much that task would how long that would take. And I did this for a little over a year, and I was able to understand truly what I could take on and what
Mhm.
capacity I could, you know, in terms of projects. Like, can I do this? Can I do this quickly? Can I take more than one project? Or, you know, can I not? Can I not take that third project?
Yeah.
Having that time management and understanding what you're capable of is super important when it comes to that specific skill. So I would say working on that is a great thing to have in your skill set.
Definitely. Yeah. Great piece of advice.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for this interview. And then, well, soon I'll be sharing some of my progress on the sculpture we're doing together. So
I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Thank you for having me on, and I'm so, so excited to see what you make.
thank you.